All right. So it's our 55th episode, right? And we're doing the 55th anniversary of Star Trek. Now, when I
Yeah,
say 55th anniversary, like this is when it first started, right? 55 years
yeah.
ago?
First time it aired on television, 55 years ago.
Oh.
I mean, we have actually passed the date. It was in September, but
Oh, okay.
but
But
as far as years go, yep, we're in the 55th year.
wow, but year-wise, I mean, it'll be hard to do it exactly back in September because we release our stuff on
Oh, it
Monday.
would, it
Yeah.
would, yeah. But hey, that's not the problem. The thing is, and plus, since the commemorate the 55 years, they did what 5K, four Star Trek movies.
Will, you mean 4K 5 Star Trek, right?
4K.
Okay.
Was it 4K? No, what was the newest thing? What's that newest?
Oh, I don't know. I know 4K is the UHD, Ultra
Okay,
HD.
we're gonna go. Yeah, it's H. I'm thinking that's what it is.
Yeah.
4K.
Is that why you have that USS Enterprise? Is that a plaque back there in
It's the
your?
plaque. It's like the dedication plaques you see on all the bridges of the Enterprise.
That's awesome. Where did you get that? Is it SC? So,
Yes, it is the best place ever.
where they custom
If
make
you're
stuff?
not if you're not looking at Etsy and you're a fan, you're looking in the wrong spot. I'd get on Etsy. It is okay, but Etsy's better.
So it might be 3D printed and painted on, right? Because I could see USS Enterprise
I don't know how
on it
these guys
very
did it,
clear.
but it's amazing. It looks like it is a brass plate,
A
but it's
brass
not.
plate. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, the ones that are supposed to look like the brass, but they made it out something and they already sent it to you just like that. I thought I was gonna have to paint it. Now,
Oh.
as soon as it opened the mail, that's what it looked like. I was like, whoa.
Is it
Now I got
heavy?
it's pretty heavy duty.
Oh, okay. Then it's not that 3D printing material then.
No, if it's 3D printed, it's 3D printed on some heavy materials. It's
Huh.
not. It's heavy. It feels like a metal plaque, but it's not metal,
Oh.
as far as I could tell.
So it must cost a pretty penny then.
Actually, it doesn't.
Oh, that's
Oh,
interesting.
yeah. It actually, for what you think it should cost, no, it don't cost anywhere near that amount.
Wow. So are you like? Did they make it on the backside for you something to hang it
Yes,
on?
they put hangers on the back.
Oh, that's
They put the
awesome.
hangers on the back too. I mean, it's dark colored on the back. It just looks just like the front. It's a. I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is too good to be true, especially for the money. I thought, huh, I'll get it, and if it doesn't look right, I'll paint it and clean it up
Yeah,
myself. As soon as
yeah.
I opened the package, I was like, I can't believe this is exactly like the one I see on the Enterprise.
Wow. No, that looks good. It really good even from far away because you have it back on
Yeah.
your bookcase.
Well, that's the way it should be because on the ship you always see it. It's always in the background.
Yeah. Oh, that's so awesome.
It's
So
on all the
first,
ships. You can't always catch it though.
so first off, since we talked about Galaxy Quest and the what was that the Fanboys movie, right?
Yeah,
And
fanboys.
now that I finally seen, this is my first time watching Star Trek: The Motion
Yes,
Picture.
the correct one.
The correct one. Okay. What do you mean by the correct one?
Oh, I'm just saying that we're not talking about J.J. Abrams here. That's what I'm
Oh,
talking
okay.
about.
Okay.
Which I mean, I hate on it a lot.
1979.
I hate on it a lot. I do like J.J. Abrams' Star Trek, the first one.
Oh, okay. I did too.
I like the third one. I would have liked the second one if they didn't copy right in the middle of the movie and make it real. It's like what?
But you
The,
know what?
the,
Once we get to that point, we'll talk about that because I would
yeah,
like to debate with you on that. But
yeah. Everybody likes to debate on that one.
but the fanboys thing, right? I don't get if you like Star Trek or vice versa, Star Wars, right? I don't know why you would hate one another because I really enjoy this movie.
I don't know. That's the funny thing, though. I don't know anybody that does.
Like I had never
They're
watched the
usually
TV
they're
series.
usually the people to me that want to tell you they don't like one or the other. It's usually people that aren't really fans of one or the other either.
Oh, they just watch
You'll hear a lot of
something.
people go, "Oh, everybody likes Star Trek," and I'm like, "Really?" Because I'm a Star Trek fan and I don't have any friends that are Star Trek fans. But then they're like, "Oh yeah, everybody likes Star Trek. I like Star Wars." I'm like everybody likes Star Wars. You don't have
Everybody
to have
does
a
like Star
brain.
Wars.
You don't have to have a brain in your head to like Star Wars.
So I was talking to my wife, right? And she was like, I told her which one has a bigger fan base. She said Star Wars. I'm like, wait a minute. There's a language within Star Trek, right? That people speak. I never heard a language that came from Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't know who would have the bigger fan base. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say it's gonna be easy to say Star Wars has a bigger fan base. You know why?
Why?
Because anybody like Star Trek is gonna like Star Wars.
Anybody like Star Trek's gonna like Star Wars. Okay.
Yeah. And the people with like Star Wars don't always like Star Trek.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like yeah,
Because
people who
most
like
people
Star don't
like
like Star Trek.
because most people that say they like Star Wars are not even really hardcore fans, you know?
Not hardcore
And so when
fans.
they watch Star Trek, they don't have the mental capacity to get Star Trek. Okay,
I
you
guess
know.
you're right, cause well, I like how this whole movie was, right? It wasn't boring to me at all, cause I was intrigued because like, hey, I would like to know what the hell is causing all this,
And see,
ruckus or
that's
that
that's the
thing.
awesome thing, because like I told you, you probably weren't going to like it.
Yeah, you told me
Because
that, and I was like,
the
I was
funny thing is,
waiting for
I
that
always
part.
I always never liked it. I always thought it was long, but these two times I watched it this time,
Yeah,
I thought, where was I? Did I watch the
I have
wrong
no idea,
movie?
and like I was waiting for the special effects to suck, right? And it's
Well, I'm
like
also wondering if they we're watching an edited version, because me and you probably are watching the newest version.
the oh, like you
I
mean
know
the remaster?
there was a director's cut, and a lot of the effects they added a lot of more effects. It was longer, because I always remember the movie being way
Well,
feeling like it's way long. It's always been over 2 hours, but I
I think
think
it's
they cut.
2 hours and
But
something
I
minutes.
think we got the cleaned up, restored version, because everything looks better, except there's a few camera pictures where there's some blur on the camera.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I watched it from Amazon Prime. So. Oh no, no, wait. Did I? Yes, I did.
I
No,
mean, I
I
know.
watched it on Hulu. They had it available
Okay,
on Hulu.
well, I know I watched the newest version they put out,
How did you
because
watch
I
that?
still.
Maybe
Oh, I
that's the
got it.
difference.
Oh, I bought mine on Apple. It's
Oh,
the
that's
re.
you got an
It's
Apple.
the newest release. I got the newest release.
I wonder
See, I
what
got the four.
release that would
Yeah,
be.
I got the 4K release, but I don't have 4K.
4K release.
That's what this whole thing's about. 4K
So
release.
I'm seeing it on here, 1979. This is rated G.
Yes.
So when I was watching this, I was telling
Well,
my wife like, "This is rated G."
but you got to remember PG-13 didn't exist, and
Oh,
all you had to do
PG-13
was,
six.
and
Okay.
if you just did a little bit more violence, all of a sudden it's rated R.
Oh.
Remember, they were really strict in the 70s.
Right, and this is like the end of this
So I
is
mean,
came
it
out at the end of
sounds it sounds funny
1979.
when you say G, but it's
Yeah,
like either put it a G or nobody can see it.
yeah, that's the thing I was thinking, like because I think sci-fi as a genre was not that the biggest thing back in the 70s, right?
Oh,
So
it
they
wasn't.
want to
Oh,
make it
this.
G,
Well,
so that's
this
why it's more
this is,
general
yeah,
audience.
because the next movie we're going to talk about, that's when the sci-fi just started hitting everything.
Yes, exactly.
Sci-fi is actually, I guess you could say, sci-fi at the movie theaters is coming alive again. I mean, there was some sci-fi way back in the 50s and stuff,
Yeah.
but nah, till Star Wars popped back out, they're like, oh, now Star Wars come out, they're like, hey, you can
Oh,
make a profit
you're
off
right. I
this.
was reading the Wikipedia, right? It was because Star Wars and this one other movie it brought it back because I was reading the histories of it, right? It's because I don't know anything Star Trek. So all I know is that like okay, they canceled Star Trek or the series stopped running after 1969,
Yeah,
right?
canceled after three seasons, not
So
10 seasons.
so after 69 and then like it was been developing for the next 10 years, right? For just this
Yeah.
Star Trek
Well, people
movie.
have been watching it in syndication. That's how
Oh,
everybody
okay.
became fans. Syndication. Everybody watched.
Syndication. So it's because of Star Wars and this movie called Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Is that's what
Eh.
convinced Paramount that let's do a sci-fi movie.
Well, the problem is they're also going to turn Star Trek into a TV show.
Yeah, I saw that too. Called
They were
Phase
going to do
Two.
phase two, and then
Yeah.
they automatically was like, hey, let's just do a movie.
Well, I'm so glad they did. So whatever I watch on Hulu, right? The special effects still look very good. I don't know if they added the
I say
spacewalking thing.
the special effects were pretty good for its time.
Oh, it was really good at this time.
And I think the video, I think they cleaned it up quite a bit, and I think they've edited it a little bit better.
Hmm.
I mean,
So,
I could be wrong. I have an older version, and I don't remember the older version. I have it on just regular disc,
oh, okay.
DVD disc. I don't remember it looking like this.
Really? So is
Yeah,
it
I
like
don't
the
know.
Star Wars thing where like, hey, the Star Trek had
No,
a
I
cleaned
don't
up
think that. I
version?
don't think they did. They thought about it, but I don't think they cleaned it up. The
Hmm?
original series they have cleaned up. If you watch the original series now, all the ships are computerized and stuff, so they cleaned it up a little bit.
Oh, so they're trying to
Yeah, because if you ever watch the
update the
original
version.
original series or the new cleaner up, you're like, well, man, wish they had a little more money.
So, so
I mean, they didn't change that much. I mean, they see there's plywood sets and stuff, but
well, yeah, I could tell that, but like I like how you said it was you never really like remember like you liked it as much, right? But when you rewatch it, like
yeah,
the release or
it
4K edition is better.
it was never one I would have recommended anybody. Let's put it that way.
Huh.
But let me put it this way: if you like this one, Star Trek Two is going to be amazing.
Yeah, that's why. Well, that's you've been telling me that too. I
Yeah,
know.
Star Trek Two. That's the thing. That's why Star Trek Two was so good, because compared to this, Well, this movie was just really long. Even the actors didn't really like this movie.
Really?
William Shatner, while he was sitting there watching it at the theater, his thoughts were, "This is the end of Star Trek."
Oh,
Right
and
here.
they just came back.
Because he felt it was too long. He didn't really have a problem with it. He thought the special effects was good, the idea was awesome, good, and they worked really hard at it. But he was sitting there thinking, "Man, this is so slow that people are just gonna give up."
Well, I guess I have
But
to
again,
watch
they
the
asked
original
him, but
version
again,
to
the funny
see.
thing is, somebody told him what he said. I like it because they said, "You said that you thought Star Trek was dead at the deal." He goes, "Yeah, but that also shows you what do I know."
Is that what he
They
said?
but yeah, that's what he said. Because it just goes to show you that what do I know about things?
I'm just an actor.
Yeah, it's Captain Kirk. I mean, that's the thing, which is funny. Plus,
Well, that's really
they say
true because, like, the fans are
Nimoy
looking for
thought,
something different.
well, Nimoy, when he left the showing of it, he didn't think it was going to be that good either.
Really?
Even though he thought it was a pretty good crafted movie, he thought it was going to be slow. But the problem is the movie's a thinking person's movie.
Yes.
Because did you feel kind of like when you finally figured out what the alien presence was, when you found out what the alien was?
Yes.
How did you feel after you figured out what it was? Because you find the name, because there's this big giant cloud come to space. You see the Klingons go to attack it.
Yes.
They get the beat down. The Klingons get the beat down, and this thing's headed, and they realize this is headed towards Earth. It takes out a huge Starfleet array, a massive Starfleet array, communications and satellite array. And then it comes up to Earth, and Enterprise is actually being refitted from its last 5-year mission.
Yeah.
This is actually going to the Enterprise is actually showing the changes the Starfleet's going to make. Because anybody saw the original series, the NASOs had the red, what do you call it, bison, whatever. I forgot the deals. They take in space stuff.
Okay. Space stuff.
I know.
Yes.
Used to normally could tell you what it was. Basically, they pull all antimatter and all that stuff for the matter out of the space to go into the injectors and stuff. But
Yeah.
we're not going to do this. We're not going to go real technical on this.
Okay.
But basically, this is the design of Starfleet going forward.
Yeah.
And they've been working on the new Enterprise actually the old Enterprise been refit. They actually almost made the ship bigger, changed the engine rooms, everything.
Well, yeah, that's what that new captain, before he was demoted to commander, right? I was trying to tell him, like, this is like a whole bunch of stuff that's been changed.
Yeah, Scotty's been working on the ship for 18 months.
Yes.
Of course, Captain Kirk is not a captain anymore. He was promoted to Admiral Kirk. And he was the head of Starfleet operations for 2.5 years.
Yes.
Of course, he's not a captain yet. Commander Spock, he'll eventually be a captain by Star Trek 2.
Oh.
He's been around humans a lot. He's a Vulcan. Well, he's actually half human.
Oh, is that what that beginning scene was with the ceremony thing?
He's purging, and the Vulcans have no feelings, okay?
Yeah, I remember that.
Which is actually neat because a lot of people always compare Data to Spock. But in a way, that's different because Spock is half human and he has some emotions. Well, actually, all Vulcans have emotions, but they hide
compress it, yeah.
Yeah, or they do the culinaire and get
so
rid
that's
of
their
all
culture,
their
right? Like their culture.
This is their culture because Vulcans are actually very violent.
Oh.
No, they almost destroyed their planet with nuclear wars. They've been fighting. They decided they're so smart, they're so strong and powerful that if they can just get rid of emotions and only see logic.
I love that.
It's just like when somebody calls you a name, hey, butthole, you're like,
yeah, and then you can be violent, yeah.
And it's illogical to even get mad because you're not a butthole. And that guy is basically just trying to get you to fight him anyways. And if you don't, then he lost.
Oh.
That's the secret. I mean,
that's what they thought back in the 60s when they created these characters.
Yeah, it kind of does work if you think about it.
It does work. I love this genius.
Because think about it. When somebody talks about you or confronts you, and all they want is an emotional reaction. What they want, yeah. You. If you don't give an emotional reaction, then what good is it, dude? You're no more than a car.
Now the other side looks dumb. Yeah.
Yeah, they look dumber than dirt, especially if somebody's watching.
Yeah.
So that's logic. And he goes back because he's been around humans a lot, so he wants to get rid of all his emotions, and he basically wants to bury his human side.
Because he's
actually
ashamed. Yes.
He's kind of ashamed of it. He doesn't like all the displays. We get to see that. Remember when he shows up at Enterprise, gets up there, and everybody's all happy and stuff? He just got that look on it. It's like, what are you making a fuss over? I'm here to see the aliens deal and do my job. That's it.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I like it, though, when Captain Kirk rubs it in. He goes, It's nice to have you on the
Yeah,
Enterprise.
and that lady was really happy. How do you
Oh,
say?
Uhura. Yeah,
Uhura.
Uhura. Well, she's more of emotions person.
Mm.
And the funny thing I noticed when you're reading this, a lot of the actors acting it said they didn't get to develop their characters or get to be their characters. To me, when I'm watching it, I'm like, every one of them. I think it's because actors, you really want to do a good job, so you kind of
Yeah, you
critique
stand
your
out.
work.
Yeah.
You critique your work too much. That's probably
Oh
what
yeah,
I feel they did. Because to
they
me,
grade
everybody on
themselves.
there,
Yeah.
some of them to get a lot of rows. I mean, all the rows are small, but if you go back and watch original Star Trek, I mean, it's funny. I grew up watching the movies first, and then I watched the stuff. I always thought all the rows were huge because to me, Sulu did all kinds of awesome things. Chekhov was like did this stuff, and Uhura did like fought and all this. When you watch the original series, they almost all have small rows. So
Really?
basically, it's like you built by watching just a little bits of them doing stuff. You built this whole giant world for them.
Well, no, that's very cool.
But basically, that's the thing. And of course, they go out to see V'Ger.
Feature,
That's the
yes.
thing. And isn't it funny? Because eventually, at the very end of the movie, we figure out who V'Ger is. Keep
Yes.
saying V'Ger. And you
Yes.
don't you feel like you should have known
I
by
feel like I should have known, but like at the moment when I heard it, right, I thought it was just some kind of new alien name. I was like, because I
exactly.
watched the movie with subtitles, like even like it says V apostrophe GER. I'm like, maybe that's how they say their language. I mean, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
some kind
no.
of superior being,
And
and
then
they're trying to
and
find out
then
what
at
it
the end
is.
and at the end we figured out it's Voyager. Well, it's Voyager 6.
So when I find that out, right, when they first show you that thing, I'm like, man, this better not be a spaceship that we sent hundreds of years ago in the past. And I was thinking like, if it evolved, right, that's kind of awesome because like it's like if I build this mouse, right, and then it suddenly learn intelligence and it's trying to come back to find me to like, hey, what the heck is up, man?
Yeah,
It's like
why'd you
that.
throw me away?
Yeah, exactly. It's like that joke, like that snail. Like, it claws its way and they're like, hey, what the F is up? Why did you kick me? It's exactly how it's like a long 2 hour of that joke.
Yeah, it is. That's all it is. Because at the end we figured out it's Voyager 6, which actually never exists.
Yes. No,
Or
okay, yeah.
let's put it this way, it doesn't
Fictional.
exist yet.
Right.
Well, I mean, there is a Voyager 1 and a Voyager 2, and they're actually the only man-made objects that have left our solar system so far,
Oh.
which is amazing.
But I like the AI, it stayed intact, right? And then it does what a robot's supposed to.
Well, yeah. Well, basically, the satellite was sent out, and they said it. They didn't. That Decker actually says it supposedly fell out what we at this time believe were black holes.
Yes.
We do know that you can't send something through a black hole now,
Yeah.
but it must have fell through a wormhole or something, and it ended up at a machine planet. And the machines found out its purpose and decided to help it finish this job. So they repaired it and stuff and gave it intelligence.
Hmm.
And then they built a spaceship for it and sent it on its way back to Earth to tell whoever built it everything they saw.
Huh.
So that's why at the end, the whole point of this V'Ger thing is to come to Earth, find its creator,
Find his creator, yes.
and it wants to merge with it.
Yes. That was the
Which is
weird
like,
thing too.
that'd be like us trying to go, hey,
Actually, I did like
let's
that.
fly all the way through space. Let's go find God and let's hook up.
Let's merge together like Dragon
Yeah.
Ball.
Exactly. But the funny thing is, there was actually original series Star Trek show just like similar to this.
To this story or the movie?
Yeah, I can't remember to this movie.
Oh.
Well, the Enterprise comes across a space probe called Nomad. I can't remember the name of the episode. They come across a space probe called Nomad. And it was repaired. It ran into another alien probe
Yeah.
and merged together and became intelligent. And of course,
Oh.
it tries to destroy the Enterprise. And it also thought everybody on the Enterprise was an infestation.
Oh, really? Like that?
'Cause remember-
that
yeah,
that
'cause-
girl in this movie?
Yeah, because she keeps calling us the carbon units, and
Yeah.
they're all infestating the Enterprise and the Earth. So she's
Yeah.
gonna wipe
So
out
when she
everybody on
said
Earth.
that, right, and I'm thinking like, did people understand what she meant at that time in that year? Like, there's got to be a smaller people like, what is she calling us carbon-based forms?
Yeah, but remember the character? There is
Yeah.
a character. Remember the security guy on the back goes, "What do you mean by carbon?" Of course, Spock looks at him and goes,
Yeah,
"It means
she's talking
you."
about us. Yeah, he was talking about us.
Yeah,
That's
it means
what
us.
she's saying right now.
No, yeah, it was Dr. McCoy said it.
Yeah.
She's talking about us
So why does Kirk call McCoy Bones?
because he's a medical doctor.
What is that? I don't understand that. Like, because he's a medical doctor.
He studies your bones and stuff.
Oh, that's
It's a
it?
nickname. It's a nickname.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
he's the doctor. So I mean, doctors used to be called Bones and stuff.
Oh, really? I had no idea. I mean,
I
that's
don't know
not
if
something
they've
I'm
all
familiar with.
been, but I mean, if it's called somebody Bones, they're talking about a doctor.
Oh, I
I
didn't
don't
know
know if
that.
it, and maybe there's something else to it that I missed, but I always figured because he was a doctor, not because he was
Oh,
skinny.
I was wondering like where did that nickname come from?
I
Because
don't
in the
know.
J.J.
It
Abrams
make
one, he called him Bones, and I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah, we didn't see that. I wonder why they J.J. Abrams should have focused on that because he had the chance to do it.
But then if I watch this one, right? Like I never watched the TV series. Then I watch this one.
Yeah,
I'm
because I
still
don't know
thinking the
that
same
I
thing.
don't know that it ever said it in TV series. I assumed it because he was a doctor. I mean, it never bothered
Oh.
me
Yeah, I
because
well,
he
because I
calls
didn't
him
know that.
Jim.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
gotta
they're
look that up
friends.
later.
Yeah, maybe there is a reason he did, but I don't remember because it seems like Star Trek just kind of started with him calling him Bones. And
Bones. So yeah,
it's like they were always friends to begin with.
yes. Well, that's what that
And I think
term
they
is for,
were.
right? Because if I call you like a nickname, like because I'm so familiar with you,
Yeah,
that's why. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Because they're not calling anybody else nicknames.
yeah. It's kind of like
They
Howard from
call him
Big Bang
Miss.
Theory, Fruit Loops.
Yeah, Fruit Loops. That's not a nickname he wants.
Fruit Loops. And because you told me, I didn't even know because me and Heather watching the Big Bang Theory while we get ready for bed and stuff, right? And I told her that mask guy, he's a real astronaut. I didn't know that because you told me.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
And after you
Yeah,
told me that, I'm like, oh, his acting's not that good because he's not an actor.
yeah, he's not an actor.
Yeah, he does the
I mean,
stuff.
sometimes you got to get an astronaut to act in your stuff.
So I like that they use a real life astronaut on
They've
the
used a
show.
real life astronaut on Star Trek New Generation. Well,
Oh,
not for, but they had the episode. When one of these people were talking to Geordie LaForge, it was I forgot what her name was, but she was an astronaut. It was on Space Shuttle.
huh. You know what I really enjoy about this movie that I compared this with the Batman 1966, right? Because in 1966 Batman, they can make all kinds of whatever science thing they want. It doesn't have to make
Yeah,
any sense, right?
yeah,
On this one, I didn't find any of that.
yeah. This one had to kind of. This was supposed to be like. That's the problem with Star Trek. Star Trek, you might find some stuff wrong with the sciences, but that's because time has proved it wrong.
Yeah, time is like, at
But
that time
they
it still
actually
made time.
they actually try
I
to
mean, makes
stay
sense.
up. Yeah, they try to stay up. This is not a off the top of our made up science.
Mm-hmm.
The most made up science you'll see in Star Trek is probably the transporter.
Transporter, huh?
Yeah, the transporter. The
Oh,
transporter,
yeah,
as far as we're concerned, transporter can still work because some people can't prove it doesn't.
yeah, perfect. Yeah, exactly. That's the theory is that it works.
Yeah,
Yes,
and then, oh yeah, and also I guess we say warp drive
yes.
Starship. Some people are saying no, some people are saying yes.
I don't know. I agree. It works like by the definition, right? They just actually destroy
Yeah.
you and
Well,
recreate you in
yeah,
another
and plus
space.
warp drive is as annihilation of antimatter and matter. You got to
Yeah,
influx. The machine where Scotty's standing, that thing's going down.
I
You
mean,
got you got antimatter coming out of one deal, matter coming to deal. They're using magnetism to hold it in the place. Hits the lithium crystals. Boom, goes to
hey,
the nacelles. Warp
the only
space.
time that has been proven wrong, right, is in Spaceballs. Okay, remember that part in Spaceballs where they transform Mel Brooks and he put his
They
butt in the
use a
front.
giant. They use a giant comb to comb the desert. Okay, don't go Spaceballs.
I love that. We ain't find shit. Why is that movie so great?
The funny thing is about Spaceballs is fanboys almost look more like Spaceballs than it did Star Wars.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
see.
because they had that band with the button in the center. It was like the Winnebago, man.
Yes, the Winnebago is awesome.
Winnebago was awesome.
Comb the desert, comb the desert.
Yeah, comb the desert.
What else? Oh, that girl, right? The girl that got probed. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that they mentioned that she was probed a lot. Did she really shave her head?
Yes, she did.
Oh,
She
it
didn't
looks
really.
really clean cut.
I don't think she wanted to either.
Oh,
She
really?
was afraid
Oh,
it wouldn't grow back. Yeah.
oh no. She was really pretty even with her shaved head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And she's supposed to be. That's the thing about her. Her species is supposed to be like put so many pheromones out
Mm-hmm.
that people just can't contain themselves around.
Oh, that's what happened with that commander.
Yeah, everybody.
So no, well,
Everybody. That's why when she walks on the bridge, everybody's smiling.
yeah, because like she was also wearing that I don't know some kind of nightgown or robe that makes her like
Yeah,
really short.
robe from her people. Yeah,
Oh,
you gotta respect other alien races. I mean, that's what it's
Cause,
all about.
cause when she was on screen, right, I was like looking at the whole time, like they got to make her shave her head, right? Cause back then with the
Oh yeah,
bowl cap thing, like it didn't work that well.
yeah. No, she shaved her head.
Wow.
She went hardcore for that
She was
role.
like Nebula, Karen
Oh
Gillian.
yeah, yes. It's like, I mean, come on, stars nowadays. That they you want a role, you better do something for
I
that
wonder if
role.
they asked for extra money just to shave her head.
I
She
don't
should
think
have.
so. She actually signed up for the TV show, and then they
Oh.
told her ahead of time, you might have to shave your head.
Oh.
And she was like, okay.
So I gotta point this out, right? Like every time you talk about Star Trek, Star Wars, and things like that, I love that no one ever like said like, "What's he doing? Why is this guy not speaking English?" Like that's my thing with nerds and sci-fi. No one ever bothered with like, "Hey, he don't speak English. I don't understand you. I hate this guy. I don't want to work with this alien because he's blue with green polka dots." I had
Oh, that
never
must be
heard
Star
anything
Wars.
like that from anything I watched, like Star Trek, Star Wars. There's no.
Yeah,
Do you still call it racial hate, or what is that term if they
I
have
don't
that
know
kind of
what it would be. I
discrimination?
don't know what it'd be, but it'd be. I mean, they've touched on it in Star Trek before,
Oh, they did.
but in Enterprise,
Oh, okay.
yeah, because you've seen all of it. It's not a big deal. I mean, I guess they've touched on the race deal between like O'Brien, Chief O'Brien on he used to be on the Enterprise. And he's on Deep Space Nine. He kind of had like a hate thing against Cardassians,
Huh.
and they, but he went to war with them, and he saw how brutal they were.
Oh, okay. So
And
it's not like he never had
but
experience
it's
with
not
them.
like he hates them. He hates like he told one of them. They're like, "Hey, why you hate me?" He's like, "I don't really hate you. I hate myself for hating you
Oh, interesting.
because I hate myself for what I saw. You know, all the war."
But nothing straight up where like I never met this species. I never met a Klingon, right? But in my mind, I already hate them just because of stories I heard. But they have nothing like that in Star
Yeah,
Trek.
I mean, there was one where like Captain Kirk hates Klingons,
Oh, really?
but we haven't got. He doesn't at this point in time.
Oh,
We get
because you
to see
haven't met.
why.
Oh,
We get
okay.
to see why. Oh, he's met him. The Klingons hate him. He's okay with it. You know, because he's Captain Kirk. You know, because every Klingon wants to kill Captain Kirk. It's an
Oh,
because he's like okay at this time, Captain Kirk is like he was the youngest captain in Starfleet.
okay.
He is just like he's like a Superman.
Oh,
Everybody knows who Captain Kirk is. He's a legend. Everybody knows who Spock is. McCoy, Sulu, Uhura, all those people right there. That's bridge crew are legends among
oh,
Star Trek.
really?
Because if you watch the original series, so many people have been killed. I mean, space is a deadly place in
Yes.
the Star Trek world.
Very. I would agree.
I mean, people in red shirts get killed all the time, but you can see other ships always get destroyed or people their crews having a mishap. And
Yeah.
Captain Kirk's crew just happens to. Let's just put it this way: if you're on the Enterprise, you're lucky.
Oh, okay.
If you're on the Enterprise in Kirk's time and Picard's time, you're lucky. The other Enterprises didn't fare too well either,
Yeah, because
but they were very heroic.
they know Chuck Norris.
Because that's why the ship keeps changing, it keeps the same number.
Oh,
Because
okay.
you got the Enterprise and then you got the Enterprise A, the Enterprise B, but most other ships change the numbers.
Really?
They didn't do anything significant.
I gotta start watching more of these Star Trek movies because they're all on Hulu right now, which is
Yeah, you
great.
gotta get on. We got to get on to the next one.
Yeah, we gotta get on it.
Because the next 2, 3, and 4 is a trilogy.
Oh, really? Just these 2, 3, and 4. Oh, because they tie into each other.
Yeah, they all tell one story, self-contained story.
So like Wrath of Khan doesn't really it's not like a direct sequel. It's just a second one, in a way.
It's the second. It's just a second movie. It's another time. It's almost 10 years later.
Wow.
Maybe I'm jumping too far, but yeah, I think it's actually 7 years later. It's 7 years later in the timeline.
Okay, because my sister told me I never seen the TV show, right? And you told me the 69 cancel and then 79 is the movie. So you told me that you could tell a lot of people are older, right? Yes, I can, even though I never seen the TV show.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I can
And this one's only supposed to take. The sad thing is, this movie's only supposed to take place 2.5 years after
the last
69.
show.
Yeah, because they, for some reason, had the idea that they didn't want them to age, even though there was 10 years between the two shows.
Yes, so because
but once 2 came along, they're like, why are we doing this? Why don't we just have them older? It's not a big deal.
So when the movies came out, right, like Star Trek motion picture and 2, 3, 4, between those, they never had a TV show then, right? It was just
No,
everything
no
before.
TV show. It's not until maybe Star Trek Five, the Next Generation comes out.
Oh, okay. Wait, so which
I
ones
may
of
be
these are the
wrong.
original
I may be
series?
wrong.
How many of these movies are the
Oh,
original series?
there's 6 original series movies.
Oh, six original series movies.
And
Okay,
then the
gotcha.
7th movie is the Next Generation with you'll have Captain Kirk and a few of the other crew will pop up
Oh,
in it.
okay.
But how they do it is excellent in a way.
Okay. Okay, it's because
So
like
it's not like oh all these people just showed up in the future. They don't.
oh.
But they basically cut it and hands it off.
Oh, okay, good. Because like I want to prove these couple of theories that I seen, like because I never seen Star Trek, right? The one is that you told me all the even number movies are good for Star Trek. So I
Yeah,
want to
usually
look
all
into
the
that.
even numbers are more popular than the odd numbers.
Okay, so I want to look into that.
And my theory, I want to tell you my theory on this.
Yeah.
Because when Star Trek was first made, they made what do you call it? What's the first episode that a pilot? They made the pilot for Star Trek.
Okay.
And it had Jeffrey Hunter as Captain Christopher Pike.
Oh, okay.
We all know who Pike is now. But
yes.
you got to think when people started watching Star Trek, they didn't know who Christopher Pike was. And the TV show was called The Cage, which one of the actresses in this movie, in The Cage, when they made The Cage, actually shows up in The Lost Starfighter.
Really?
Yeah, but anyways, The Cage it was a pilot. It had Spock on it too.
Okay.
Leonard Boy's Spock. Was it her Major Roddenberry, or her name was something else? Then she played the first officer.
Okay.
Which she's actually in the motion picture. She plays Nurse Chapel.
Oh, okay.
Remember Nurse Chapel? It's on that.
Yeah.
That's Gene Roddenberry's wife, by the way.
Really?
And also, she does all the computer voices on all the starships in the Federation.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And she passed away now, but she's put enough recordings of her voice that she will always be the voice of this Federation.
No way.
That's amazing.
That's
so
pretty
awesome.
amazing.
But she was in The Cage. She's also in Star Trek as Nurse Chapel. She makes it to the Next Generation.
Yeah.
She is Deanna Troy's mother.
Wow.
So she's played in all the Star Treks. She is like the first lady of Star Trek. Let's put it this way.
Wow.
But
That is
anyhow,
pretty cool.
So she's there, and then they had some other characters. I think they had some other characters. Basically, though, they showed it to NBC. NBC's like, I don't really like this pilot. I don't really like the show.
Okay.
But we're going to give you another chance. We'd like you to remake it and show it and give you. They gave them another chance, which is weird for a pilot.
Yeah.
Because usually, if you don't like the pilot, they cancel it. That's the no-show. So they went and got another. They got Captain Kirk, William Shatner, and they brought Leonard Nimoy because they really liked his character so much, and then changed the rest of the crew.
So he was still a Vulcan in the original.
Yeah, it was. Okay. He's the same character from The Cage to the deal.
Okay.
I mean, of course, Spock has evolved because he did smile in some of the first episodes. They don't smile. Vulcans don't smile at all.
No. Yeah, I could tell because his face was always like dead. Like...
I mean, Star Trek was still learning, but the neat thing is they gave him a second. They gave him a second chance. So that's why my theory is why the even numbers are always good, because Star Trek got picked up on an even number pilot.
Oh, I like that.
That's kind of weird, man.
That is weird. So I'm gonna watch for that. The other thing is, when Big Bang Theory, when I was trying to look that clip on YouTube, right? Like Sheldon and Raj is arguing which one is better, 1 or 5.
Yeah, when they're fighting over 1 and 5, which is always funny to me because I always thought Sheldon would be more for 5, and Raj would be for 1. But now watching it again, I'm like, okay, I guess I could see why Sheldon would be for 1 because it's very cerebral, and plus Sheldon, is raised in a highly religious. Because number 5, they go to find God.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it would actually be more Raj's style because. Raj is Hindu.
Yeah, from his just culture.
And of course, Sheldon is Christian /
Baptist, right? Yeah, because he's
a Baptist / non-believer.
Yeah, non-believer. Yes, because he's a scientist.
Yeah, I mean, his mom's side is his mom-loving part of him loves Jesus.
Yes.
And the scientist part of him doesn't.
Yes. So he's conflicted. He's just like a Vulcan.
He's a very conflicted. Yeah, he's like a Vulcan. Which, remember I was talking about Data and Spock. I wanted to point that out. I forgot my point. My point is Spock. He's half human. He has some emotions, but he hides them. He doesn't want emotions.
Mm-hmm. But
Data doesn't have any emotions.
Was Data a robot?
He's all a robot. Data is a robot.
Data is a robot. Okay.
He watches humans. Well, see, Spock loathes humans, but he does kind of admire how lucky they are. Data admires humans and wishes he could have feelings.
So it's kind of like a robot, real robot,
Yeah.
like the myth that we know of robots.
So yeah, basically he's kind of like Spock in a way, no feelings, but one doesn't want them and one wants them.
Oh, that sound like that's a good character development too.
Oh, they're very good character development. So, but I mean, it's like most people always call, Spock is Data's the Spock of the series, but I'm like, technically he's not.
Wow.
Because one strives to be human and the other one strives to not be human.
Okay, so those are the two things I gotta watch for once I start watching these, right?
Yeah.
Like even numbers and which one is
you
better, 1
also,
or 5.
To me, though, that also makes me respect Nimoy's, well, both of them acting ability, but Nimoy's acting ability. Because he's got to act the whole series
like still his dead face. Yeah, without reacting. Now I'm putting the same thing on Jim Parsons. So he is the Spock of the whole Big Bang Theory.
He is basically, to me, Spock, he's kind of right in the middle. He's kind of the Data Spock.
Oh, Sheldon?
I think later on he becomes more like Data, but he starts off like Spock.
He does Spock. He's like,
he doesn't need humans.
There's no emotion.
Humans are a pain. Yeah, humans are a pain. He doesn't want any humans.
He does. A lot of the times is illogical.
After he meets Amy, he's more like Data.
Oh, interesting.
Now he wants to be more human.
Because he's a robot.
Yeah, because remember the episode where they're asking him if you're a robot?
Yeah, like maybe you're a robot. Maybe you're not. Are you? Maybe you're bound by the 3 laws of robotics now.
Three laws. Which, by the way, that the writer that iRobot was the technical consultant on Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
No way.
And the only reason it is because they got the ending was V'Ger, and he's like merging with an intelligence.
Yeah.
Of course, the producers at Paramount, the suits, they're like, that's impossible. Gene Roddenberry is like, have you not been watching Star Trek? Because it's possible.
I thought it was possible. It totally makes sense when I watched it.
They're like, well, we'll call Isaac up and see what he says. If he says it's possible, we'll make the movie. And they called him up, and you know what he said?
What?
Yeah, it's possible. Like, what are you, a bunch of idiots?
So when I watched that scene, right? When when the commander is like, hey, you can't do this. You don't know what it's gonna do to you. Like, yes, I do. And I'm thinking like, oh, he's gonna merge. Like, I didn't know how they were gonna do it, right? Because
he wanted to move on.
He wanted to move on. Exactly. Like,
and here's the neat thing about this movie.
Yeah.
No computer effects.
Wait, what?
There's no computer effects in this movie. Everything's either animated or lighting. Like when Decker has all that happened to him.
Yes.
They had to glue stuff on him and hit it just with a light.
Yeah, like when they had the lightning strike inside the bridge, right?
Everything. Oh no, when he's at the end, remember when he's merging?
Oh, when he's merging,
blowing up and stuff. They had to put lights on him and put stuff and clean up the stage constantly afterwards.
Really? Because
you gotta think about it. Even when they're going to V'Ger, you see all the clouds.
Yes.
All those paintings.
Oh yeah. I realized that too. Yeah.
Model.
Yep. Because that's how they faked it back. Like when we watched The Shadow, the bridge, right? Dude, don't go more than 5 feet from this scene, okay? It's a wall right there. So the lighting thing I noticed too when they first I guess when they encountered that electrical thing inside the bridge, it was all lighting too, and they were actually looking at something that wasn't not there. Exactly. They put the anime thing,
and then they draw it on the film.
Yeah, they draw it on the film. Yep, I noticed that too. I thought that was pretty good.
That's got to be impressive for that much work, because you got to think they're cutting film and putting it on there, because when they show the space station, there's people inside all the little space stations. Plus, I like it when they show the Enterprise.
Yeah, you told me about that, and they're like,
that's for the fans.
I like all of it. I love seeing the spaceship.
Which, by the way, actually the Enterprise A, which looks just like the Enterprise we see, has different compartments of. That's my favorite Star Trek ship. Enterprise A.
You did tell me, and also you told me because the budget wasn't so big, right? A lot of the extras in the background were fans of the show.
Well, the budget was huge on this.
Well, 40-something million, that's right.
Yeah, the budget on the second one is very small, and they have to reuse everything. They had to get creative on the second one.
Really?
But on this one, they got a big deal. But just since it was coming back, and everybody's been waiting for 10 years, when they assemble them in that big, you saw a big giant set.
Yeah, it was a big giant hall.
Big screen. Yeah, that hall with all those people, those are all Star Trek.
Yeah.
Most of them were Star Trek fans.
So you told me about that, right? Like advising producers, I'm like, oh, everybody's actually pretty good in this scene.
Exactly. Well, nobody had to really act. Everybody just had to be shocked.
Yeah, just shocked. Yeah.
I'm thinking they're like, I'm seeing Spock, I'm seeing Kirk.
That's all I asked for.
I am shocked.
That's all I've asked for. That's really
good. The whole crew.
They're coming out. Yeah, they had the whole crew.
They then had Jace Lee Whitney, so they had they pulled all the people from Star Trek back.
And you know what? I love all the uniforms in this movie.
You actually like those uniforms?
I like the well, not like all the uniforms, right? Like when Kirk and Spock and McCoy was wearing that blue thing, like that straight suit. Okay. That is a nice. Well, I want to get that. Then I realized, like, how come those guys are so skinny? Was food a problem back in the 70s?
No, they had to suck themselves stomachs in and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did not like. None of the people like. This is the only movie you'll see these suits in.
Oh.
The next movie, the uniforms changed.
The uniforms change?
Because they were so tight, uncomfortable. It took two people to change the uniforms. I'm thinking for the 70s, those uniforms were probably amazing.
Yes.
I mean, I did like the belt. I mean, they had those little buckles. Yeah. But the buckles aren't really buckles. They're monitors for sick bay. So if you're sick or anything goes wrong with you,
they could know right away.
And plus, it's a transponder. So let's say if you're on another planet, they use the beam there. They know where you're at, so they can transport you up.
Oh.
Plus, the communicators were on their wrists this time because usually they're flip up.
Yes.
But they'll go away again.
So different color uniforms on the bridge. What does that mean?
I forgot what it does. I have a book that tells you. But mainly the uniforms this time.
Yeah.
Okay. In the old series, you had red, yellow, blue.
Right.
Blue was sciences and medical. Red was security, engineering, and so forth. Mm-hmm. And gold. I said yellow. It's yellow gold.
Yellow gold,
Kirk's was kind of green. That's command positions. Or, operations.
Operation was wearing gold. Like Sulu, Chekhov, and Uhura was wearing like the gold, I guess, tan,
they
yellow.
They were now. Yeah, when they got on the new bridge, this colors kind of shifted. Because Kirk still has a white one. So apparently, if you're a command officer, it's white.
Oh, okay.
And then all the other deals were kind of gold on their deal. The suits didn't really matter that much, but it was the emblem.
The emblem,
emblem had a color behind it.
What does the emblem mean? How come is that little arch thing?
Oh, like, Delta?
Yeah. Oh, Delta. Okay.
They just came up with it.
Oh, okay.
In the original series, the thing is, all starships had a different symbol, and in the center, your department's shown.
Oh, okay.
No, and they have a star in it. Which the star meant Starfleet Command, but they had like a little turn thing, the engineering. They got rid of that. They all went to the Enterprise standard symbol for all of Federation.
Oh, okay.
And now, but in this TV show, the colors on the Federation symbol tells you your job, because McCoy's was light green. And the second one, you'll see the colors better.
Oh, okay.
Because they all wear red, but the undershirts tell you your department.
Oh, the undershirt. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I learned a lot from you from this episode, right? You tell me like Kirk's personality. It actually brings that back. Like I could see that in J.J. Abrams' character development too.
I know, and that's pretty good. I mean, that just shows you those actors were spot on. Because I mean, everybody knew who McCoy was in J.J. Abrams did.
Oh yeah, when Carl Urban shows up.
Yeah.
It's like immediately, that's McCoy.
Because it's one of those best things, especially when we see in this one, we see McCoy show back. Because McCoy quit, became a regular doctor.
Yeah, I got that feeling because I didn't know.
And in the original series, he did not like transporters at all. He doesn't like space that much. But I gotta remember that he wouldn't transport up, so Kirk transports him up. And he comes up, he's got a beard.
Yes.
He still looks like very 70s actually. And he's telling him, "Oh, I got drafted. What you did?" And of course, Kirk's like, "You didn't get drafted. I didn't have any other way to get you up here to talk to you."
Yes. Yeah, you could get the feeling that he didn't like to be like, "What the hell do you want me to do up here?
Exactly.
I didn't ask for this."
He's always grumpy, which is his character, and I love it.
Yeah, he's always grumpy.
Because I even like it when he saw Spock. In the original series, him and Spock fight constantly.
Yeah, I can see that.
Let's put it this way: he fights with Spock, and Spock is like, "Yes, doctor."
Yes.
Of course, I like it when he sees him on the bridge. He goes, "I'm even happy to see you."
Yes.
Spock does the same.
When Spock came in, yeah. And like, we have to see you.
Yeah.
I like sometimes like he's the medical officer. I like how when he showed up, he was making demands. Right. I want a nurse assistant. I don't want another doctor questioning my every single my diagnosis.
Because you got to remember, Christine Chapel was his nurse in the original series,
Uh-huh.
and he kind of argued with her, and she had a crush on Spock.
Oh.
That's why she came up there to see Spock when he came in.
Oh,
But
so
of course,
Laura
Spock
is
is
not the.
But of
the
course,
one.
Spock is Spock. Well, yeah. I never got that in J.J. Abrams why Uhura hooked up with Spock.
Well, I think it's because it's a different
It
timeline.
didn't make any sense to me because Uhura would have been more like, I always thought, I don't know what it is. All the fans have a different theory, which is great.
Okay.
I think some fans think it was her and Chekhov eventually hooked up. I always thought it was her and Scotty,
Oh, okay.
but I'm a Scotty fan.
It's because it's Zoe Saldana. I love her in that. I love Zoe Saldana anyway.
Yeah, who does? Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
But we got Uhura.
Yes.
Zoe Saldana's always an alien. Everything.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, no, she's human in Star Trek now.
Oh, yes, she's a human in Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yes.
But she was green in another movie. So
Yes. In another movie we talked about. Yes.
Captain Kirk would have been talking to her constantly.
Yes. Exactly.
Loves green women. What can I say? Who doesn't? Green women, man. Come on. Orion girls.
Wow.
They may be illegal, but you want to say, hey, what's up?
So Captain Kirk, like I guess Guardians of the Galaxy's Quill is kind of like Captain Kirk.
Quill
Right.
is way like Captain
Yeah, it's
Kirk.
like hey ladies, how you doing? I'm Jim.
I would think, yeah, it doesn't ever show it or say it, but it's because it's Paramount, so you can't really do it. But I bet you if Disney owned it, yeah, he would have been watching Star Trek all the time. Because look, man, come and think about it. If he's watching Footloose and all those '80s movies,
Yeah.
he was watching the motion picture Star Trek too.
Yep, he was watching all that. Yes, definitely. I highly agree. Yeah, I
Quill
like a
was-
Captain Kirk kind of character. Yes.
Yeah, except Kirk usually wins. Quill
Yes.
doesn't. Quill
Because
messes up
Captain Kirk is more of a badass, I guess.
Yeah.
Except
That's
this one,
what-
that's not a lot of action though. It's lots of suspense.
No, they didn't. There were supposed to be battles in the original script,
Mm-hmm.
and they were going to have all kinds of more special effects to show you the Enterprise fighting the Klingons and so forth.
So
But
the
then they
Klingons was only in the beginning
Yeah, they're only in the beginning
to
And plus,
show you
this
that
is-
they got what happened to them? Like, did they get evaporated or they got destroyed?
Oh, they got
right?
disintegrated,
Disintegrated. Yes.
just like a transporter hitting you. It hits you with the internet, and it just eats all the energy up and disappears.
Oh, so now I'm putting that together. Like, every time if you're on an Enterprise, right, you got lucky because they didn't get disintegrated. They got
Yeah.
in.
Well,
They
it
got
just-
in
they-
the club.
well,
I guess.
if they would have got hit the second time, that would have been the end of them. It just
Oh.
happened that their shields held out. Their shields were just this much better than the Klingon vessels.
Oh, you know what? They did talk about that.
Oh, yeah,
The
they
advanced, technology is better on this ship.
Yeah, they just barely edged ahead. If it would have been another Federation ship, boom,
It would have been gone.
Because, like they said, because remember they're trying to transmit the signal.
Yes.
And that energy deal would hit them. But the neat thing is the Klingon deal. The Klingon deal. By the way, I want to part out the Klingon captain.
Yeah.
I wish I forgot his name all of a sudden right off the top of my head. He played Spock's father in the original series.
Really?
Yeah, I wish I could tell you his name. I forgot his name.
But they use the same actor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the same actor. He was his first role in Star Trek original series was a Romulan. He played the first time they see Romulans. Which, by the way, Romulans and Vulcans are the same race.
Oh, I think you talked.
Yeah.
You told me about that.
There's
before.
just like several different differences. Let me find his name.
There's the
Because
same
actually, this
race.
guy was at a Star Trek convention too that I went to.
Oh.
He's actually the only person from Star Trek that I've actually really ever seen.
I don't
can't
get
remember.
why people make
But
fun
it's
of Star Trek.
Ambassador.
I
It's
freaking love it.
Ambassador Sarek is his name. I can't remember what his original name was.
Oh. They probably just want to have him play another character so that
I
way
think
they
it's Mark.
say
Yeah,
that,
Mark Leonard. That's his name. Mark Leonard. I think it was his name.
right? You think so? Like, hey, we don't really have Spock's dad in this movie, but we
Yeah.
still want you to be in this
Yeah, because
movie.
since he was such a strong part of Star Trek,
Yeah.
he played Spock's dad, he played Ambassador Sarek, so he was the Klingon captain.
Oh yeah,
And this is the first time, because in the original series, Klingons just had the eyebrows.
yeah. But they had the I guess the gills or
beard.
whatever. Oh
No, the head was
yeah,
added.
the head.
They never had the head in the original series, which
Oh,
some
okay.
people wondered. But the problem is, eventually they made a story for it, and I don't really care for the story. I like the original story where it said that they were altered or mixed with Romulans
Oh,
for
okay.
dealing with. But the Imperial Klingons had the Rigids.
Really?
But the real story goes they had a disease because they were stealing the Kong, Wrath of Kong.
Yeah.
There were some altered humans escaped from the genetic wars, and the Klingons and intercepted them
Yeah.
and tried to steal their DNA to make them super people to beat humans.
Really?
And instead, it caused a disease, and it got rid of the ridges on their heads. Eventually, they cure the disease, and they all come back to normal. But
Really?
basically, this is the first time we see the makeup, and plus, this is the first time they had the Klingon theme music.
Oh, really? So,
Because you remember that music?
yeah,
Every
the
time
three ships, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you hear that music.
Yes.
Let me put it this way: the soundtrack didn't win an Academy Award, but it almost did. It didn't win an Academy Award. Most people think because he was up for the Academy Award for this, and he also wrote the music for Goldstinger, right?
Oh.
And he wrote the soundtrack for Aliens,
Oh, he did?
but he did not like it.
Wait,
so he went-
Aliens? The second one or Alien? Like
Alien. I think it's Alien.
the first one. Okay.
Yeah, the first one.
Okay.
And he didn't want to have anything to do with it.
Oh,
So they
interesting.
decided to punish him, and he didn't win for this one.
Oh,
The
that's
sound, the
messed up.
soundtrack is awesome because listen to the sounds.
Yeah.
But still, to me, Star Trek II's soundtrack is the best,
Oh, soundtrack
or I
too.
think it is. But I mean, everybody's got their own sounds. But to me, this
Hey,
is
you know
where
what?
the
Wrath of
this,
Khan is the only one that people always recommended to me.
Oh, everybody, it's because most people our age grew up with that one.
Mm.
Because I was too young to see this one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm lucky I saw Star Wars. Star Wars just kept showing. Star Trek the motion picture didn't just keep showing it. Even though I had the action figures from Star Trek the motion picture.
Well, Star
Two
Trek
of
the
them.
motion picture came out back in December 1979, though.
Yeah, it did come out later. I remember the action figures. But anyways, he wrote the Klingon thing. So every time you see war for Klingons on any of the future Star Treks,
So you
Next
know that
Generation,
theme.
Enterprise, yes, they'll play the theme. They always play the theme. And so when you hear that theme, you know something Klingons gonna pop up.
So it's like Batman and Superman.
plus-
They have their own
Plus,
theme.
they have their language. Remember, you're talking about the language. You're impressed with
Yes.
the language. Well, here's the thing. This is the first time we hear Klingon language.
In this movie.
Yes, and guess who came up with it? Scotty, the actor that plays Scotty, created the
No.
language. Yes, and the thing is, you don't get the Klingon language isn't developed until Star Trek 3 completely. The guy
Wow.
writes the book. He writes the Klingon dictionary.
Yeah.
He uses all the words from this first movie and adds to it and makes the Klingon language. That way, Doc Brown has something to say in Star Trek 3 in Klingon.
Wait, so Christopher Lloyd is in Star Trek 3?
Yes, he's Captain Crudge.
Whoa. I haven't seen a lot of Christopher Lloyd
Yeah.
in anything except for
Like
Dennis the Menace.
And I told you, the greatest thing about Christopher Lloyd, he's a time traveler. You know why? Because Captain Kirk and Spock and all the crew, they steal his Klingon ship and they use it to time travel.
Whoa. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's funny because think about it. Because some kid's going to steal his car and time travel with it.
Speaking of which, I think I saw a concept of the new DeLorean. Have you seen that?
I've seen some concepts in the new
okay.
DeLorean.
All
I
right,
mean, there's
but
always somebody
skip
kicking
that.
something out there.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's got to happen before it's anything.
You said Star Trek 3, right?
Yeah, Star
Okay.
Trek 3. John Larroquette's one of his first officers. I don't know if you ever saw Night Court and all that. So.
No, I never seen Night Court.
Okay, well, we'll forget that. But anyways, so this is the first time we see the Klingons and all that. And then here's the other thing. We hear Vulcan language. Because remember, we see Spock on his planet. It's all
Yeah.
red. But
Yeah.
it's like worse than a desert. Any Earth desert. That's Vulcan. They mostly live in the ground, apparently.
So why did the
But
Klingon get such popular in the language, but not like, spot like Vulcan language?
I don't know.
Do you
Because
know?
nobody made a dictionary.
Oh, because the dictionary was made.
And I don't know. Maybe there's no dictionary. I mean, I had the Klingon dictionary. I had like a book on writing, and it had a few words. I had like a little bitty book for Vulcan, but it wasn't very pro. It wasn't written by a pro linguist.
Klingon. Hey, at least
And plus-
that's
but everybody likes
Klingon
Klingons,
boggle,
but they're-
okay?
But there's a lot of people that like Vulcans too.
Yeah.
But here's the neat thing about the Vulcan language. Okay, we see that scene where they're doing the Koloniar and all those people.
Yeah.
That scene is actually shot in English. All those people are speaking in English.
Really?
But after they shot it, they're like, why would they speak English on Vulcan? Especially if they don't like Earthlings that much. So they'd speak Vulcan. So Scotty, the guy that played Scotty, James Doohan,
Yeah.
he invented Vulcan too.
Wow.
He'd watch their lips and make words to their lips.
So wow, he made a whole language,
Yeah,
like a
he
fake
pretty much-
language that people
he's pretty-
actually speak.
He is pretty much he had a giant hand in the creation of the Star Trek universe.
Wow, I can't believe it. So he made the Vulcan and the Klingons.
Exactly. Isn't
Wow,
that amazing?
that's pretty impressive.
This guy would kick your butt.
People still speak that today.
Yeah, people are still speaking that today.
He probably is that actor still alive?
No, Scotty
Oh.
passed away. Well, James, he passed away.
James.
And they actually put his ashes on one of the spaceships. I think it was on one of the space shuttles when it went up to space.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Which is neat now, because they say that William Shatner is going to go to space. I'm not going to. It annoys me. You know why? Because
the headline writes itself.
Yeah, it's because it's Jeff Bezos' spaceship, and his spaceships don't go to space.
They just go out the outer, right?
Yeah, I know. All the headlines say Captain Kirk finally goes to space, But I'm thinking, and I was all happy because I thought he was going to go on one of Elon Musk's SpaceX.
Oh, so they actually go to space.
So, yeah, where they actually go to space. And I thought, all right. Then I read it, and then I was like, I love William Shatner, and I think he should go to space, but he's not going to space.
So the thing is, so your hold on, your analogy is like, if I told you, Shane, I'm going outside today, and all I did is like, I opened my front door, stepped outside for 1 second, and came back, I went outside.
That is the best analogy I've heard.
That's it. I went outside.
Yep. I opened the door and I looked at it.
Captain Kirk, yeah.
Yeah, so basically they're going to go all the way up to the edge of the atmosphere and look at space,
and then
go
come
back down.
Isn't that what they did the first time anyway?
Yeah, that's what they did the first time. Which ticks me off because those 4 people got on the SpaceX's spaceship. They went higher orbit in 3 days above the space station, and they hardly got any media attention.
And then they come back.
But these other 4 clowns don't even go to space, and they're like, "Oh, you're astronauts." I'm like, people die trying to get to space, and these guys get the astronaut deal on them.
Yeah.
That's an insult.
So that's the definition, right? As soon as you enter the space atmosphere just by an inch, I'm an astronaut.
No, apparently if you just build something that looks like a spaceship and say you went up in the air, you're an astronaut, I guess. I'm going to build a cardboard.
Because I was going to use a football analogy. As soon as the football, right, touches that line of the end zone, dude, there's a touchdown. So this is...
Okay, hey, could you refrain from doing sports analogies on the show?
In a Star Trek show.
There's a whole giant bunch of us that's not getting it. Because I'm sitting here thinking, what?
It's so ironic that we're both in Texas.
Yeah, I'd like to hit you with a hockey stick.
I just thought it's ironic that we're both in Texas. Like, I don't get this football reference.
Yeah. I don't like this football reference. It's more like it.
But my front door is the best one. Like, I just go outside and then I come back. I went outside today. Yeah, you didn't put out the whole definition of what outside means.
Exactly. Open the door, look outside, and close it.
And come back in. That's it.
Yep. I went outside today.
No questions.
No questions. I have ventured outside.
Oh, what else is good about this movie? And you know what? I liked it all. I like the spacewalk. They even like
the spacewalk is cool.
Did they have that? Is that what you remember? Did they do that scene in the old one?
The original one, or the original series?
No, not the original series. Like when you first saw
they did all that. Yeah, the first ones I remember all that. The little spaceship going out, and that was actually cool. All that stuff is cool. The only thing that does bother me, and I know it's hard to do, is when the Enterprise goes up to V'Ger and they hit against that deal and they all walk off the deck of the ship.
Yes.
How it's bowed up and you can see the Enterprise right across.
Oh yeah.
It's not shaped right to the ship.
Oh, it's not?
No, the ship's not that. The ship's steep, but it's not that steep.
Oh, okay.
That's the only shot. I guess that's the only way they could get it accomplished.
Yeah, maybe because when they got off the ship, right, they were walking on those foam block. It looks like a Marble Madness game.
Remember
like Gilbert. Yes, that's exactly what I thought it was. Yes, and I was like, even making that costs a lot of money, right? Like,
this was a fortune, but it's amazing.
No, it was amazing.
I mean, it was basically this. I mean, a lot of people go, "Oh, there's too much effects or too much of this." I'm like, come on, these people have been Star Trek got canceled 10 years ago, and all these people have been waiting for another series or something
Yeah.
Star Trek. They've just been waiting for something.
So there's only 3 season original series.
Yeah, but you got to think old seasons used to have lots of episodes.
Oh, because I was gonna ask you because they have syndication. Because I think the
Yeah.
rule is like you have to hit 100 episodes. That's why it's such a big
Oh
deal.
yeah, there's hundreds of episodes. The first three, I don't remember how many shows in their season, but nowadays they only do 13. You're lucky if they do 13
They
shows. In a season.
tune because it's an hour. Yeah.
But in the old days, yeah, each show was an hour, and they did. I can't remember how many episodes.
Because like if you do like the sitcom, like the 30-minute episode with commercials, they give you 22, 24. Depends on how long they are.
Yeah.
And
No,
it
they
makes
had-
sense. It's 13-hour
I
episodes.
almost like to say they had 30 episodes in
a
a season.
season. Wow.
I
And
could
then
be-
each of them
I mean,
is an
I'm-
hour with commercials.
Yes, each one's an hour with commercial. Exactly.
So it's like 40 minutes. Wow.
I just remember there was so many shows. I wish I knew off the top of my head how many, but
I want to look it
Nice.
up right now. Like, 'cause I could probably look it up. Star Trek.
yeah, you
TV
probably
series.
could find it real
Because
quick.
I want to know what the difference is between back then, right? Like one TV series because
I know it's amazing. I mean, it's like it's silly what we do nowadays.
yeah, it's original series. Let me see, 3 seasons, right?
Yeah, how many episodes a season?
Oh, here we go, Star Trek. So that's so 79 episodes with 3 seasons.
Total. Okay.
So I'm surprised they still got syndication. It probably just got so popular.
I mean, there wasn't a lot to show, I guess,
Let me
because
see
I
how
know
much
the
is-
Next Generation was syndicated too, but they made enough episodes.
Was it black and white in the first season?
No,
Oh, so everything
Always
was color,
color.
right?
everything was always color.
Oh, there's 29 episodes in the first season.
Okay, so yeah, almost 30.
Yeah, it is almost 30. What's the second one? Let me take a look. Oh my god, just from these pictures, William Shatner looks so much younger. 26 in season 2. Like, just look at these pictures.
Yeah, well, that's like when we look like William Shatner. By the time everybody's watching this, everybody goes, "That looks like T.J. Hooker." Did you ever see that TV show?
No.
Oh, okay. It had Heather Locklear.
Oh, it did?
Yeah,
24 episodes on the third one. Wow, so it only got 3 seasons. Well, there's a lot of episodes.
and it actually was supposed to get canceled after 2 seasons, but most of those fans that you see at that gathering,
Yeah.
a lot of them are the ones that organized and helped write letters to save it for the 3rd season.
Wow. So,
So yeah,
you know how we talk about nowadays with the Marvel superhero stuff, there's a very popular genre, right? So it's always been like that.
yes,
It just because,
course.
like,
Almost like
80s is when those
yeah.
meatball movies and nerds movie came out, right? It was gears towards like the jocks crowd.
yeah,
Yeah, no one ever made movie for us.
yeah. Which is funny because like all the convention stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what really the first fan conventions are, but Star Trek's been one of the oldest and strongest ones.
Yes. Such a huge
I mean,
fan base.
Yeah, it had such
It's
a
hard to put a number to like which one is bigger.
yeah, it had a better. I mean, I know it's like this thing that a lot of people, because a lot of people like. I started off with Star Wars. I
Yep.
still like Star Wars,
I still like Star Wars too.
but I like Star Trek too. I mean, I'm like, if I had to decide between the two, I'm going to pick Star Trek. I'm sorry,
Well, it doesn't matter. I don't want to pick.
but I don't know. But why would you? Why do you exactly? Why do you have to pick?
Why do I have to pick? Why can't I like
It's
both?
just like that meme. There's a meme that shows like all these people with looks like Star Wars guys. They got all their lightsabers and stuff out,
Yeah.
and then you got this other and stormtroopers, and the other side's got all the Star Trek people with their faces out, and it says, "What's the problem here? We're all nerds."
Like,
Exactly.
it's like
You know,
if something comes out, right, I'm gonna watch it because like
almost
it's
like-
better
it's
than
almost
having nothing.
exactly. It's like it brought me to that line that Kripke says in Big Bang Theory. He goes,
It's like,
"We're
Oh.
nerds. We fight robots."
you're right, robot. We're all nerds that can't get women
Yeah. Why do we fight robots? We're all nerds
because we
that
can't get
women.
girls.
So we fight robots.
Yes.
So yeah,
So nerdy.
put your nerd logic to the side, as Spock would say.
Yeah.
Shake a hand of a Wookiee.
I never
You
even
go-
realized there was no action until I just mentioned it just a few minutes ago, and I'm like, I didn't even mind it even when I was watching the movie, because like
Yeah,
the
that-
story is so compelling
Well,
to
they
me.
wanted it. They wanted more since it's the first outing. They wanted it to be more of a discovery movie.
Oh, it's Discovery, all right, because I'm trying.
Yeah.
It kind of mirror like the first Alien. Is like, what is going on here, right?
Yeah.
Like, what is
That's
that
the
thing?
the Star Trek is supposed to be about thinking anyways.
Yes, it's
It's supposed to be about
suspenseful. It makes you want to
supposed to be
think, what
about
is it?
asking questions. And that's the thing on the second movie I love and most people love. It's not really it's an action movie, more of an action movie, not a
So
thinking
Star
movie.
Trek action movie. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of more of a revenge movie.
Oh, you said that before too. Revenge
Yeah,
movie.
it's more about revenge. But this was about what Star Trek's actually supposed to be about.
Oh, Discovery.
Yeah, about discovery.
Okay.
You know, seeing new things
Yes.
and seeing things that will make you question
Make you
what's
question and you accept it, because at the end
exactly.
of the movie, they asked like, who was it that Kirk asked? It is Spock or McCoy, right? He's like, did we just witness a new species?
Yeah. Well, it's also McCoy asks because he's like, I'm going to merge with it. And McCoy's even like, is that even possible?
Yeah, because he's a doctor.
Yeah, because he's a doctor. Well, they're all scientists.
Yeah, they're all scientists. Yeah.
Because I even like the line in there where Spock is like, you know, when they get that tractor, a tractor beam pulls the ship in,
Mm-hmm.
and they're trying to break
Yes.
free.
Yes.
They can't. And Decker's like, we got to break free. We got to do it. And Spock is like, we can't. You know, we should just turn the engines off. Kirk turns the engines off, and then, of course Decker looks at him and goes, I'm sure we could. He goes, why don't we try to get out of it? He goes, you can't. He goes, how do you know? He goes, then he asks Spock, he goes, why do you not even want to try?
Yes.
Because Spock wants to see what's there.
He wants to see.
That which is neat because Decker's trying to run away from this thing and fight this thing the whole movie.
Yes.
And that's why the Enterprise crew is there, because Kirk is like what Kirk is. Kirk wants to see.
So if Kirk wasn't there, they would have died.
Yeah, they would have. That ship would have fought them, and that would have been the end of it.
Just like the Klingons in
yeah,
the
well,
beginning.
basically, if Kirk or Spock wasn't there.
Yeah, if Kirk wasn't there.
Because, like Kirk always says, he knows he's not going to die as long as he's got McCoy and Spock with him.
So I don't understand the ranking
Which, by the way,
system.
what I just said is an important thing.
Yes, it is.
Like Kirk, and he says it later on, because eventually, you'll see this is true.
Oh.
He thinks he's invincible pretty much as long as Bones and Spock is around him.
Really?
They're not.
Huh.
But I just told you the future right there.
Oh. Okay. Oh. Okay.
Most people don't even realize that line is very important.
No, you're right, because I just trying to realize, like, now I'm trying to go back to all the scenes, the stuff that I seen. So I guess Wrath of Khan and Into Darkness plays a big part in that. Oh, so now I can't wait to see the second one.
Yeah,
We might have to change up our schedule just to fit this stuff in there.
Oh, okay, cool.
I know. I want to tell other people for October, right? We did plan on an 80s month because next episode is totally 80s, right? But I might have to change some
it's
stuff.
hardcore 80s. Yes. Yeah. Well, we're not gonna get too far out of the 80s though, because we gotta get some 80s stuff taken care of.
Well, you know what? Wrath of Khan is in the 80s, so it's actually
it
fit
is.
this
1982.
genre. Yep.
1982.
So it can fit my, whatever we make it to be.
It can.
I just have to.
You're the master of your own destiny.
Exactly.
Like Kirk said, keep going.
Yep.
There.
So we gotta make it. We might have to do the all 9 Star Trek movies just the next.
So far, since you're seeing this, do you have a favorite character?
Oh, Spock.
Okay, cool.
Just
Logic.
Spock. Yep.
The funny thing is, a lot of these characters grow on you. Because I'll say like McCoy, never was my favorite character.
Really?
But after watching a lot, I actually like the guy.
Really?
Because he fights with Spock and stuff, and he kind of seems irrational, but he's actually kind of wise.
Well, because so McCoy is probably like the human side, right? Like just
he's like the human side,
like the human logic into Spock.
Spock is almost always right.
Because logically, like we should
logic,
this.
and he's not always right. Because sometimes his logic will tell you to do a certain thing, and humans, Vulcans can make mistakes because their logic tells you to do this, and some things are just not logical.
Some things are not logical,
especially if you're dealing with irrational beings or something.
Okay. I can't wait to see more of this.
Humans are very irrational.
Because like one of my favorite lines in the Star Trek J.J. Abrams is towards the end of the movie, right? When Spock tells Kirk like, "Well, I would cite logic, but I have a feeling that you were completely ignore it." See, you're getting to know me better already.
Okay. For a second, I didn't realize you didn't see it. I thought you were going to tell me another Klingon. No, a Vulcan proverb.
What was a Vulcan proverb? I would love to hear it.
Oh, it's the same thing. It's only Nixon can go to China. It's It's like what?
That is funny.
Yeah,
It
it's
just
actually a
tells you
humor.
how old we are in this
Yeah,
episode. You can have
it's
a
a
good
human
guess.
proverb. It's a humor proverb too.
Oh, that is actually very funny. No, I like Star Trek a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, I would probably guess like I would like Star Trek though. If I watched
Yeah.
the original series, I would probably like it too. Actually,
I mean, I don't understand how people really can't. I mean,
well, I want to say it's like it's not like a stupid thing, right? It's like intelligence thing. We want shows and things we watch, right, to challenge our minds.
I would think you would want.
Yeah, I mean, like
I
I
mean,
watch comedies
but I
because
don't know.
sometimes I need to
If you
relax.
watch the news lately, you think most people in this country don't want anything that challenges their brain.
They don't. They just want something simple and fed to them.
Well,
Okay.
because it's also it's got that mentality that they don't want to learn, grow, or develop.
You don't want to stay where they are.
Yeah, they just
Yeah, I
want
want
to
to
be stuck in
expand.
the mud.
Yes.
Like, all right,
Yeah.
well then, stay on the Earth. I'm going to Mars.
If you give me a chance to
Peace
go to
out.
space, I would do it.
Yeah. Well, the problem with going to Mars is as soon as I get on the spaceship to go to Mars, I'll be like, hey, how about we just keep on going and see how far this thing can go?
But well, if they say something like, "Well, we can only go this far," okay. Well, we just exactly go to that space, right?
Yeah. I'll
But
be like,
I'd love to come back.
I'll be like, how about let's go on to Jupiter?
Can we go and make to Jupiter?
Well, you go on one of the moons. They got stuff on there.
Oh.
Saturn's got some moons that might have some stuff.
I mean, I
on
never
them.
look into like how much ration you need and food you need and supplies, right? If you actually want to go out that far.
Oh, we're probably gonna die, but hey,
Oh.
it's an adventure.
I don't even know how long it takes to go to Mars. Is it like 3-4 months?
Oh, 2 years.
Holy crap!
Yeah, I think they're shortening. I think there's a way that they think they can get you there maybe in 14 months.
Well, 14 months do a lot, but it's
I
better
don't know
than
where they're
2
at.
years.
There's people making it seem like somebody said, "Oh, we can do that in 6 months," but nothing gets there in 6 months yet. It's usually
6
almost
months.
2. I don't know what the quickest is now, but I know for NASA was saying the human part of it that gets them there was at the moment safely 2 years.
Oh, they talk about that in the Martian. Like it
And
depends
the
on.
problem is you're going to be exposed to all that radiation and stuff. Here's the scary thing. Here's the problem with space travel. You got a bunch of people that theorize everything,
Yes.
and they're usually right. I mean, most of our astrophysicists and stuff, they're pretty smart guys. But the problem is until you actually get into zero space, okay, because let's put it
Oh
this way.
yeah, the math versus reality.
Okay, yeah, we don't know what normal space will do to a human body.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything that we've done so far, even going to the moon, we're in gravity.
Yes.
We're in some form of gravity. We never hit that spot where we're not in the pull of the
gravity,
Earth,
yeah.
the moon. I mean, you'll always be on the sun's
Right.
gravity
And
well.
the other thing is like once we pull further from the Earth, right? Like we get closer to
Yeah.
Mars, it's Mars gravity. Now we don't know how that handles like realistically.
Well, they already know. They know how they actually know that. That's simple.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, with the weight of the moon, the Mars and stuff, and all the research they've done on the moon, they'll know what the gravity's going to do on, because the gravity's not as high. Was the gravity higher?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think it's as high. Yeah.
So we
can't
feel
remember
we
now.
feel lighter.
I think you'll feel a little bit lighter.
Okay.
It's not like the moon though. I can't remember if that was it, because one of the planets is heavier, and automatically you're going to have to be a stronger person to live on it.
Oh.
But it's going to change. The gravity is not the same on Mars as it is on Earth. So anybody born there is going to be a little bit different. Your muscles going to develop a little bit different.
Oh.
The problem is going there 2 years. Nobody's been in space 2 years. Usually the year, a little over a year is the longest somebody's in space. Of course, in anti-gravity, your brain floats up to the top of your head, so it turns flat, messes with your vision. Plus, you get a lot of clots and stuff.
Oh, so we
They didn't
can't
know you're-
survive space
actually,
travel.
Well, you might can, but because I mean, those people are surviving in the space station just fine.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, but they're gonna have to figure out ways to get you to move and your blood to move a little bit better. But the problem is the shielding on the ship. They don't know what you're going to hit radiation-wise between here and there.
Oh, so it's very dangerous, yeah.
Yeah, because you're going to hit like gamma radiation, and you're not going to turn into the Hulk. You're going to die
Yes.
really quick.
Oh.
So that's the thing. You've got to have some kind. You got to have some kind of form of gravity
So just hearing this, right? I'm
and
thinking
more
like,
shielding on the ship.
so just hearing this, right? Just
Faster
thinking
you
about
can. Let's put it this way: the faster you can get to Mars, the safer you'll be.
Oh, it makes sense because like all
Yeah,
these calculations that taking into place, and I'm
exactly.
thinking just hearing this, right? What if they are aliens, right? And they're facing the same problem, like, oh, we don't know how long we can live in space. These are the things like with whatever
Yeah, I'm sure.
technologies
I'm
they
sure
might
there
have.
is. I'm sure there is. I mean, that's the problem. Most people don't take into account all this stuff. And then you hear people, oh, there's aliens visiting our world all the time. Maybe they are. I don't think they are because of the even advanced race is going to have trouble.
See, that's the thing. If an alien race can reach us, right, we should know like, oh my god, they're more superior
Yeah,
immediately.
exact. Well, yeah, exactly.
So
Get to us.
ID4 lied to me. Okay, we don't have a fighting chance. That's what I wanted to point out. I've been thinking about this the whole time you're talking about that.
What are you talking about? ID4, they almost lost. The
No,
only
but it's the
reason they
fact that we
survived.
won. It's the
Yeah,
fact that we won that's the
and
lie.
they barely won ID4. So what are you
Yes.
talking about? They didn't lie to us.
No.
They showed up and they wiped us out. It wasn't like the only person that lied to us is Spielberg with third encounter, third encounters of the whatever it is, close encounters of the
Because
third
the
kind.
guy.
I'm trying to spit it out, but
I
hey,
thought you
just
talking about
put
the
some
end of the.
mouths.
Was it end of War of the Worlds or something? I can't remember.
Oh, he did finally make awards. Remember, and that's the funny thing about Spielberg. They're asked, "Hey, why don't you ever make alien attack movies?" Because I would like people to have a positive attitude about meeting aliens. And then he goes and makes War of the Worlds. I'm like, what? Hypocrite.
Yeah, you're right. Every time he's making an alien movie before, it's a friendly version.
But I mean, I get it. I mean, that is kind of a responsible thing. But
Yeah,
I'm like,
I mean, no, it makes sense because every time
but the
we
problem
want the
is,
conflict.
here's the thing though. In Star Trek, in the Star Trek timeline, Vulcans make first contact.
Vulcans make first contact.
Yeah, the Earth, some humans get out. They get out of a war. They make light speed, and the Vulcans decide these people are going to go around seeing other alien species, so we should make contact with them first and help guide them.
Huh.
And that's what Star Trek Enterprise is all about.
Ooh.
Which the
Final
Vulcans turn out
frontier.
they're not. The Vulcans have lots of issues, but here's the thing though. Star Trek. I mean, our world. What if the Klingons came first?
Oh, that's
That'd be
yeah.
the that would be the end of us.
That
We'd
would
all
be
be
the end of
working.
humans.
We'd all be digging in mines of Rural Penthe.
Oh, is that what they make us be do? Like, I don't know what.
Yeah, Rural Penthe is the prison planet.
Oh,
Rural Penthe.
so King Klingon. So you know what? We don't even if even they can bring us to that planet. Okay, we can
Yeah,
survive space travel.
you'd be like Joy too.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm melting like Arnold from Total Recall.
No, because they'd hit you with a bat lift and then a little knife, and you'd be dead.
Dang, I
They'd
gotta
be like,
learn. I gotta
humans
learn
are
more about
weak.
Klingons.
Humans are weak.
You know, it's
They'd
really
be
funny.
like, they'd be like this. They'd be like what they told Riker on Next Generation. Do we need one of our females to breastfeed you?
I never seen that. That's why it's funny to ask. Like, hey, jerk,
It's way
jerk
funny because he's
face,
on
don't
there.
say that to me.
Well, because he didn't like their food on their ship, so they're like, "Hey, how about we go get us a Klingon female to feed you?"
Man.
Riker's like, got in a fight.
So the history of our sci-fi movies, right, is either like we fight the aliens or positive reinforcement like ET like friendly and stuff, right?
Yeah, I just give them Reese's Pieces. You'll be good.
Yeah. And the only
I
thing
like
difference
Reese's
that we probably soon have to talk about is District 9.
Yes, we have
Yeah,
to do District 9.
we have to do
That's got to
District
be
9.
on our list because you said that's one of your favorite movies,
Oh, that's one of my favorite movies.
and I've never seen it all the way through.
Oh no, okay.
Yeah, come on, a bunch of aliens with their hands out wanting stuff from
Yeah,
us.
and then it's the only movie that's like that. That's aliens, like aliens are
It is
usually
actually.
violent. Even Mars attacks.
Oh wait, yeah, Mars
Yeah,
Attacks is supposed to
it's
be
any
violent.
time we have an alien species, right? Like they have to attack us, and we have to fight back. That's basically what
Yeah.
it is.
Well, the thing is, who knows? But the problem is, here's what you got to think: if somebody gets all this technology and gets all advanced, are they going to be more violent, or are they not going to be as violent?
Well, according to Stephen Hawking's, yes.
No, he actually never said that.
No, he not. He points to
He
like
worries
because of
about
the
he worries about if we
come to
call
us. Yeah.
somebody we're calling somebody that could be violent. But the problem is, what you need to think about is the human race. As we get more advanced, are we getting less and less violent? I like to think we are.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, because I don't know the
I
trend,
mean, we
right?
don't have anybody like the Nazis existing anymore. I mean, there's groups, but
Oh,
like
I
there's
guess
not
yeah.
a nation that it's like that.
Because right now we want to make
I mean, you
peace
got
first.
China. Maybe China's the biggest hold you down, powerful nation we got right now.
Yeah.
But even them, would they be like that out in space?
I don't know. I wouldn't say we negotiate, right? We're trying to make peace offering first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But that's us, though. I don't know about other groups of
Yeah,
aliens that comes down.
you're
Yeah.
right. You don't know what goes on another planet.
Yeah.
Maybe they're like they had like a Nazi race on that planet.
Yeah.
They got advanced. They won, wiped everybody.
They're fascists, you know.
And now they're
like
traveling. And now they're traveling through space.
Yeah. They want to do the same thing to other. I
That's
guess,
more
colonies.
But that's
what
more.
they call us.
That's more Battlestar Galactica.
that's that's so much
actually
space
is.
stuff to watch. I never watched Battlestar
I know.
Galactica.
You
I
haven't
want
even
to
seen
see.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
I never seen Buck Rogers.
There's only two seasons. The first season is actually pretty good. I mean, you're gonna get past the 80s look of crap, but it's actually pretty good.
80s local crap. We just watched. We're about to talk about in the next show, but the
Oh
80s
no! I'm at 80s cheap.
TV show.
Let's basically this way. Buck Rogers, the 25th century, pretty much looks like you're watching Galaxy Quest of the 80s in that show.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
it's
good
like
analogy.
It
I've never
is.
seen it, but it's probably
It's a very good analogy because that's what it looked like.
Buck Rogers.
Buck Rogers. It's not bad. I mean, it's silly, but you got to take it for what it is.
Ah, okay.
You know, sit down, chill, and have a good time watching.
You know what's really funny? After I watched this, right, I wanted to watch the J.J. Abrams Star Trek.
Oh, did you?
I did. Not because I think this movie sucked, right? And not because I wanted to see the action. I want to see the difference.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get
Like,
you.
I want to
No,
see the character development. But from what you told me, right, like, a lot of the characters pretty stay much the same. Like,
but the neat
especially
thing,
McCoy.
the neat thing about it, if you're to actually watch all the movies, and then maybe some Next Generation episodes, you can go right into J. Abrams with no problem.
Oh.
Because then you'll understand why Spock's doing. Because you have to watch Star Trek: The Next Generation to actually understand what Spock is doing in J.J. Abrams.
Really?
Yes, he wasn't just thrown in there.
He wasn't just oh my god,
No,
I'm so interested.
it was part of a story that was running in the Next Generation.
Oh dang it! I really want to know now.
Yeah, it's a big story. I mean, it's amazing because a lot of people. I mean, if you're Star Trek fans, a lot of Star Trek fans are getting mad at Abrams, and I get some of it. When you like I said, if you're going to copy another movie script, pretty much, that's lazy. It's not really doing anything. It doesn't move anything forward. But Abrams did bring a lot of stuff. He brought more fans, more recognition. Plus, I mean, as a director, he's an excellent director.
Yes, he's excellent director.
I don't think he's personally a good storyteller from the script writing of things. Well, maybe his own work. I've seen his old work is good, but I didn't like the way he told the story in Star Trek that much because I mainly don't like the writers, the way they told it.
Okay.
But from visually, with what he's added to sci-fi, it's amazing. You know, I'm gonna knock him. I'm gonna keep trashing the guy because why not? I mean, it's not hurting him.
No, it's not.
Because we know what he did. I mean, I don't like what he did with Star Wars. I mean, I actually think he did worse on Star Wars
than on Star Trek.
than Star Trek.
Ooh, that's a
But
good.
to me, he introduced
debate.
a lot of stuff. But to me, he introduced a lot of stuff for space movies because he's a Star Wars fan. Like when you see the lighting and stuff. But this is all for when we get to Star Trek.
Yep.
But I mean, I'm gonna knock him and I'm gonna keep trashing him. But that doesn't mean I hate his movies. I think he could do better than.
Yeah, because the third one wasn't done by him, right?
No, the third, and I actually liked the third one the most out of all of them.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the third one was more towards the Star Trek stories. A lot of people don't like it, but I'm like, a lot of people don't like Star Trek stories. So
yeah, I still like all three. I mean, like the third one. I mean, like I like all of them.
Yeah, I liked all three, but
Yeah.
just Into Darkness. I don't like Into Darkness as much. It had a lot of stuff, elements that were awesome, but it's just the way they did Khan and then rewriting the second script all in there. It's like,
yeah, you say you.
And plus, I don't like their Spock that much. And I like,
Quinto?
I think, yeah, no, I like Zachary Quinto, and I think he did a good job as Spock, but I don't like him doing all the non-Vulcan crap.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't
'cause-
know what they are.
Yeah, Leonard Nimoy is Vulcan. Zachary Quinto looks like Spock, talks like Spock, but he has all these human emotions that Spock would never have tolerated.
You know what? Okay, so on that, right? Just from watching the new Star Trek and this one, I think that changes when you watch your planet
it
blow
probably
up,
was.
though, right? That's
Yeah,
the
well,
that's the
no, I
cause
get
that
that. I get
changes
the
it.
angry part. Oh, I get the angry part.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
the
okay.
part.
That's all.
But
I
I'm
guess
talking
that's the
about
part.
having a girlfriend that's human and all that.
Oh, maybe he's trying to like no. Maybe the logical thing is he's trying to repopulate Vulcans in one
Well,
way.
yeah, but I mean, his Spock should have been the same as Nimoy's Spock.
Really? I don't think so.
No, because see, the events of when them crossing through the hole should never affected Spock's life at all,
Really? You don't think so?
because they had no impact on his life. Only
Oh.
Kirk's, only Kirk's impact, only impacted Kirk's life, because it changed the chain of events in his world.
Oh, okay.
Because his father died. In the original series, this Kirk that we see on motion picture, his
Yeah.
dad's still alive.
Yes, his father's still alive.
But I mean, that Spock is the same as the Spock in the other alternate reality.
But the thing is, his mother was dead, right?
Eventually, but that's later. That's after he makes Kirk. Up
Oh, I'm
until
talking
that
about
point,
you're talking about
Yeah,
the
but
original
up
one. I'm talking
yeah,
about the J.J.
I'm talking about the
Abrams one.
second. I'm talking about J.J. Abrams.
Oh, okay.
Spock should have been exactly the same up until the point his plant's destroyed.
He should be exactly the same.
He
Okay.
should have been exactly the same. Why wasn't he?
Oh,
After the planet
okay.
gets
Oh,
destroyed,
from
he
that.
should have
Okay.
changed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you now.
Because there's no events that would have tied on him being on his Vulcan life.
Okay. And I thought it was the change was after his mother died. Okay. I
No,
got
they
you.
already had him. He's
Yeah.
already changed before his mother died.
Oh, okay. So it's still a little different to you. Okay, I got
Yeah.
it. Okay. So my
Yeah,
argument
that's-
didn't work. Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
Ah.
but we can argue it. I mean, we want to say those arguments for that movie.
Yes, we will. Because I love this.
So, yeah, Star
But I
Trek.
gotta watch all these Star Trek first before
Oh,
we
you
go
gotcha.
to JJ.
No, and that's the funny thing is, if a lot of people would try to watch these, they'd actually enjoy Star Trek more. Because I knew another guy I worked with, he liked J.J. Abrams and argued with him about it. He's like, okay, I'll go watch some of the original stuff.
Okay.
He did. He's like, yeah, I can see why you're mad about J.J. Abrams.
That's what I guess that's the third thing. I want to see why you mad about the JJ Abrams stuff. I gotta see it.
It's not bad. It's different. It's just the second movie, the only one I have a problem with.
Because
Other
it
Star
feels
Trek
like you
fans-
like the
there's other
nostalgia
Star-
of it
There's
too.
other Star Trek fans that's mad all about the whole thing.
Oh, I
I'm
figured
like,
it, yeah.
why? Because it's different. I mean, he does lose a little bit of the, oh, we're just going to save Earth in this movie. Second movie, we're just going to save Earth in this movie. I'm like, in the original series, they don't hardly ever go to Earth.
No, they
It's
don't,
just-
right?
But they do it in these movies too. They almost save Earth in every movie now.
Oh.
Which it gets boring because I'm like, go out to space and do some adventures.
So it's kind of like they're space pirates. No, not that space pirates.
Space pirates.
Space pirates. They're stopping space pirates, I guess, in a way.
They were never space pirates, but
Yeah.
you'll see some space pirates in the third movie.
Oh, okay. So, but they're always do good. They're always
Yeah,
there
they
to
do.
help.
They're always to help. I mean,
They're
come
always
on,
to
they're
help.
Federation. They're Federation officers. They're
Of planets.
legends. Yeah, they're the United Federation of
Oh,
Planets.
one last thing I want to ask you. So, how does that order go? Like captain, commander, first officer. You know, what is that?
Oh,
chain
no,
of
well, first
command?
officer's a job. Oh, you want to know the ranks?
Yes.
Oh, the ranks is, well, from the officer side is ensign. It's a lieutenant general grade, lieutenant commander, captain. Sometimes they have a commodore
Okay.
on and off, and then they have admiral, like rear admiral, fleet admiral, and all on there. Admiral, and I think they change it constantly.
Oh, okay.
And I may have forgot a rank. The ranks sometimes change, but basically that's the thing. You see an ensign, that's the lowest guy. But the other things are jobs. Like a first officer, you got a captain. And a captain doesn't always have to be the rank. Like a commander could be a captain of a ship. But the guy that's second, but he's the you call the captain, the guy's commander of all the ship is the captain,
Okay.
regardless of rank.
Goes up.
Smaller Federation ships will have a lower rank. First officer can be any rank, but he's the second man in charge of the ship.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so basically, what was his name? Deckard?
Yes.
Not Deckard. What was his name? Yeah,
Is that the
what was
commander, right? The one from
Yeah.
captain
Yeah.
to commander.
he was captain. Basically, he could have kept his rank as captain, but he was first officer.
Okay.
Normally, Spock is the first officer. In the original series, Spock is the science officer and the first officer of the Enterprise.
Okay.
And Captain Kirk is the captain. Chief engineer is Scotty.
Scotty.
Your chief helmsman is Sulu. Helmsman is the guy that controls and flies the ship. Basically, does the directions.
Yeah.
And sometimes does weapons on the older
Sometimes
ships.
weapons. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, how big of
No
a deal
ships.
was it to have an Asian guy in Star Trek? In the
Back
60s.
then, I would say it was a huge deal.
Yeah, I mean, like, he was the only one, right?
Yeah, oh, he was it. But
There was no other
basically,
Asians
as
on that
far as
ship.
we're concerned, no. As far as we're concerned, there was a lot of other Asians. There was other Asian people,
Oh, okay.
but there was nobody in a main role.
In the main role, yes.
Same thing with Uhura. There was no black people.
Yes.
And if she was a woman, like talking on the phone.
Yes.
I'm like, you don't do this. But there was other black people in the original series. There was a one of the greatest scientists, computer scientists in the Federation, was a black guy.
Oh, okay.
Of course, he kind of turned to a bad guy. But
And is Chekhov supposed to be Russian?
Chekhov is Russian.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool.
So you got a Russian while we were fighting with the Russians during the Cold War.
Wow.
So yeah, you got Chekhov is the navigator. He was originally a navigator. In the motion picture, he's the weapons off. I guess the chief of security tactical. He's a tactical officer. So he was the ship security and the tactical officer. He fired all the weapons. Because in the old show, usually the helmsman did the weapons.
Yeah.
But on all the newer Star Trek shows, you have a security weapons officer.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's what Worf is eventually, is a security and the weapons guy.
Nice.
So yeah, Uhura is the communications officer. And of course, Bones is the chief medical officer.
Yeah, chief medical officer. He's the doctor.
Yeah, one of the doctors on the ship.
And Scotty's the one
he is the chief
engineer.
He is the chief engineer of the Enterprise. He also invented the warp. He does a lot. He's really good with the transporters too.
Oh, okay. He's the one with the warp. Okay, Scott.
Yeah, he does all the warp engines. He's actually that guy that had a lot of design changes in the Federation when he did the Enterprise.
Oh.
The refit. This Enterprise.
So he's a huge nerd.
Oh, he is a very big nerd. He is like the chief admiral of nerds.
Chief admiral of nerds.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Which to say the engineers, yes.
Wow.
He could be sitting down there. He could rebuild a Federation warp engine while drinking Scotch whiskey. And as they point out in the old TV shows, he's the only red shirt to be on the Enterprise and not die.
Yes. Wow. Okay. So that's like who is it? Sulu ever leave the ship?
Yeah, actually he does. In the original series he does.
Oh,
he goes down and does missions. I mean, actually all the characters get to leave the ship.
Oh, okay, they did leave the ship. Does he have combat training? Because the J.J. Abrams one does have combat training, right?
Yeah, you got to remember it's the 60s, so the fighting's not all that good.
Yeah. Captain
Kirk actually does, for the funny thing, he actually does a lot of jump kicks.
Yeah.
And karate chops.
Yeah.
Which is weird. But I'm thinking, that Federation fighting is so advanced and it looks silly, but that's why it takes everybody out.
Oh, okay.
Of course, Captain Kirk, like I said, his shirt gets.
Because I remember the Abrams one. He asked Sulu, "You have any combat training?" He's like fencing.
Yeah, well, in the original series, they're making fun because Sulu liked to collect weapons.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Yeah, so he could fence. I'm sure he could fight any way you wanted him to, but like he did, he had a fencing deal, and there was a scene like that.
Oh.
And that's probably what they're making fun of. But Sulu actually in the original deal collected weapons.
Oh, okay.
He kind of he liked a lot of, and his ancestors are supposed to be Japanese, so.
Oh, okay. No, he's Japanese, right? George Takei?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
That's pretty cool. And now they replace one of us with a Korean.
Well, yeah. Ensign Kim, which I think actually the guy that plays Ensign Kim is Chinese, so. Could be wrong.
I'm talking about John Cho in the J.J. Abrams one.
Oh, I'm sorry, but John Cho plays a Japanese guy in that movie.
Yes.
No, and on the Voyager, there's a Kim.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, Korean guy.
Okay.
An actual Korean guy.
An actual Korean guy.
I don't remember if he's actually Korean in real life or if he's Chinese, but he's Korean on the ship.
So basically, I need a new Star Trek TV series now. Well, they do have it. It's called Picard.
No. What do you mean? There's Discovery.
That's Discovery. That's right.
Well, originally, I think, I don't remember. I haven't seen Discovery, but I know the captain starts off. Well, it starts off as a bad captain, and then there's a Chinese captain.
Oh.
Chinese lady.
Chinese lady captain. Okay.
Yep. I mean, eventually everybody gets represented.
Yes. That's what sci-fis do.
Well, that's what Star Trek does. That's what
Star Trek does. That's the thing, big thing.
That's the thing.
There's no discrimination here in Star Trek.
Well, they try not to. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, they try not to. So that's
what sometimes you just can't beat the times you're in. You
No,
know,
and I can't believe they did this back in the 60s, you
yeah,
know?
they did this in the '60s, and still Uhura and Sulu didn't get as fair treatment as they should.
Yeah.
I mean, you see them doing more, but actually watch the show, you can see that there's a lot of things they should be doing, and they don't get to do it. Because
Oh.
Uhura gets kind of kicked to the side. Oh, yours is a woman several times. It doesn't say that, but you can tell by what she's doing. She's getting kicked around. And Sulu is like, oh, you're a Japanese guy, or you're
Oh.
Asian guy, basically. We'll just have you sit here.
Oh.
I mean, they try to give them more screen time, but they don't. You could see there's episodes where they should have done more, and you could tell that they're not getting.
Interesting.
But it's because of the times.
The times.
But I guess you have to take it as if you're in the '60s, you're lucky you got to get this far.
Yeah, you gotta get this far. You're on TV, right? You know?
Yeah. So maybe next decade.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it's sad to say it that way.
It is.
But that's the way our world works. You either take what you can get and then try to get some more, or just sit there and gripe about it, and you'll never get in.
And you'll never get in again, yeah. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this guy
I mean,
complains too
somebody.
much.
That's the thing. Somebody has to do it.
Yeah. That's what I
Right.
about said about Shang-Chi. Like,
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
told me back in 1991 when I was reading comic book they're gonna make this movie, I would never believe you. Shoot, when Iron Man came out in 2008, I would still not believe you. I
Yeah,
still wouldn't
exactly.
believe you in 2018.
And if, like, let's say they ask that guy to do it. Hey, let's do this, and then they have this stuff. Well, that's not right. So you need to change that. I bet he's go. I'll take whatever you do.
Yeah,
Let me
just
be
the way
the
you do.
character.
So,
Because next movie, people like it, change it, get better.
so I watched the guy who plays Shang-Chi, right? He said he got so excited when Kevin Feige called him to play the Shang-Chi character, right?
Oh yeah,
And I told Heather, like, if Kevin Feige calls me to play something, I would be excited too. Like anything. It doesn't even have to be like a name like, hey, Lamb, we're going to need you to play Donut number 2. I'm like, yes, I'm in the MCU. Like, who the hell is Donut number 2? I don't really care. I will be on some kind of MCU Wikipedia
that's
page.
the thing. Like, what do they go? Hey, we need some Chinese guy sitting in the back drinking coffee.
Okay, that's fine. I'll do
Exactly,
it.
exactly.
2 weeks shoot. I'll ask for 2 weeks off at work.
The first thing you'd be like, how Chinese do you want me to be?
With the accent, without the accent, how long have I lived here? Am I born here?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah. How do you want me to drink the coffee? I mean,
Yes. How Asian or that? How Chinese do you want to be, baby?
you'd be drinking the coffee. And it's like,
Oh,
is that how they all drink? Everybody drinks on this planet the coffee the same.
yeah. Which is how Chinese are. So that's kind of racist. We don't say how Chinese we wanted you to be. How authentic it is now. Okay,
Yeah,
not how
authentic.
Chinese.
It's about authenticity.
Yes. Well, I had a great time watching
Hey,
this
I want
movie.
to know. Did we point out your Star Wars shirt?
Oh, you know what? Because a lot of people who listen, right, like on Spotify,
Oh, yeah.
I'm wearing a Star Wars
Yeah,
X-wing Starfighter shirt on this
hey,
Star Trek podcast.
This jerk wore Star Wars X-wing. Actually, the shirt's actually pretty cool. It's awesome. I want
yeah.
one. Come on.
I told my wife today when we were driving out, right, like before, we had to do some errands. I told her, like, I don't have a Star Trek shirt, and we're talking about Star Trek tonight.
You know the
And
sad
she's
thing
like,
is,
you don't
I
need
don't
one.
have a.
You don't have a Star Trek shirt?
I gotta get
Think
one.
about it. Is there even a lot of Star Trek shirts out there?
I think there may be more, but not like what I like. I wish I had because Lamb shirt. If for people can't see, it's
Yeah.
an X-wing, and it shows the
Yeah.
X-wing. It's
Yeah.
kind of like a schematic in a way.
Yes.
And if I could find an Enterprise shirt with a schematic, kind of like my Batmobile shirt,
Yes.
man, that would be the shirt.
Yes,
That
like
would be
the
shirt.
book that we have for the Back to the Future, like the DeLorean with the
I mean,
schematics.
I guess we could go find like the J.J. Abrams shirt that you can just throw on, the black shirt underneath. Oh, those look nice, dude.
I do. So when I first time I saw the J.J.
Yes,
Abrams Star
that's it.
Trek, I
Those are
wanted
nice.
that shirt.
Those are because they're like jerseys in a way.
Yeah, it likes jerseys. Exactly. I
So
love jerseys.
they got to be comfortable.
Yep. Because
'Cause
it's ease of movement.
Exactly, because the old suits aren't.
I'm going to try to find it. I'm going to try and find that Captain Kirk's jersey and I'm going to buy
Can't
it.
cost that. I know I know when the movie came out, they're selling them. I
Oh,
thought
yes.
about getting one. I wish I would have got one.
And then we're going to get one. The gold one, the blue one, so I could be a science officer. And what does McCoy wear? Is he wearing blue, right? Because he's a science
Blue
officer.
because he's a medical.
He's a
Medical and science is blue.
Yeah.
Engineering, most
It's
of the
red.
stuff. Yeah, operations is gold.
Okay, operations gold. Okay.
Yeah,
I got to get
if
the
you're gonna
gold
fly the
uniform.
ship or tell anybody
Just,
what to do.
let me just get all three. All three.
Yeah, get all three.
I'm going to collect the whole thing.
All right, might as well.
Yeah. We were like, did you buy a costume? It's not a costume, it's a uniform.
Yeah, it's a uniform.
It's a uniform. Don't ever say that word costume to me again.
Now your Boba Fett suit is a costume.
I gotta get that.
Your Han Solo outfit is a costume.
It's a costume. Oh, that's
This is a Federation uniform.
Yes. So on
and it's all within regulation.
And on that note, I'm going to end this one right here. Thank you for watching this segment of our reviews. I hope you had a great time listening to us. Be sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one. Laters.